Hello, I'd like to ask some questions.
I don't know anything.
Don't worry, I'm not here to arrest anybody.
You say that now.
It's the truth. Here, take this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the Special Patrol bribing a citizen?
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Fleuve Cendre lately? Anything at all?
Muskets, huh? All I know is that about 2 weeks ago, we started hearing some loud noises at night. So loud that it's been waking me up.
Were they gunshots?
Possibly. It's hard to tell around here. Someone's house collapsing, a pipe exploding somewhere, it's all the same. But the noises I'm talking about definitely happened after I fell asleep.
Do you know where the noises were coming from?
I don't remember clearly.
Is it that you don't remember, or that you need to think about it some more?
You tell me.
Then please, think about it some more.
She's giving her even more Mora!
The noises came from the end of the Southern Waterway. I came out and had a look for myself when I wasn't sleeping well, but I didn't dare get too close. That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pat de fruits.
No need to be surprised. I grew up here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk. My apologies, I'm all out of sweets. Though I do have some other tempting snacks in my custody. Fries, fried chicken, and even onion rings. But taking care of junk food is my responsibility. You're better off sticking to your normal, nutritious diet. Now then, let's keep going. It's been a while, Tetro.
Please, just get on with your request.
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking about muskets lately.
Information isn't free, you know.
I've heard that bandits have been extremely active in the countryside recently, and they've been affecting the delivery of goods to Poisson. I can allocate some more manpower to help out with that problem. What do you say?
You're still as helpful as ever. One of our men got drunk at dinner about a month ago and lost his gun. 3 days later, it turned up in the corner here.
What's weird about that? He just forgot where he put it, right?
This is Fleuve Cendre, my friend. Anything of value left in the tavern won't ever make it to the next day. But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get any new wear and tear on it, and didn't even appear to have been fired. We were quite mystified as to what could have happened.
I suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
You mean, a criminal was afraid the Marechaussee Phantom would use the shot marks to track them down? Maybe. But if that's the case, the culprit really took great care to avoid getting caught.
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Fleuve Cendre, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today. It's the guy living in the east side, isn't it? I've never liked him. Every time he's here, he just orders a drink and sits there with a nasty look in his eyes.
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Don't bother. Even if you ask, he wouldn't admit to owning a gun to some strangers. Not to mention the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
He's right.
I know you grew up here, Chevreuse. Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too long. Not many people know you here now, and a lot of people don't like the Special Patrol.
I know.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here. It's for your own safety.
I'll come and go as I please, and I'm afraid I'll be appearing more often due to my work.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
business you're in. You gotta keep up with the changing times.
What's all this? Some broken planks and barrels, as well as some liquor bottles?
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up, these are obviously marks from musket bullets. In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot. They were using the barrels and bottles for target practice.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Fleuve Cendres own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots. Anyway, let's go. There might be more to this. Seems like that's all we'll be able to uncover for today.
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then their timeline was probably something like this. A month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble it. Once he'd figured out its mechanics, he brought it back. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own makeshift musket, and took it to the Fleuve Cendres for target practice. Then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder. Once the deed was done, he left a rainbow rose on the body, just like the scene in the novel.
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
The deceased was a resident of Fleuve Cendres. It's said that he was a poor, solitary man. Yeah, that's also something I'm trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased didn't have any enemies. He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead, much less care to leave a rose on his body. What message is the killer trying to convey, and to whom exactly? We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well. He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. There are also records of him at an orphanage before then. In the story, the mother of the 2 musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could have changed the children's ages, but I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would pull the trigger to kill a man.
Then, what should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day. How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film. I'm sure that given time, new leads will present themselves.
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago? Wouldn't you just miss them if you were to stop looking?
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
Oh? What else did it say then?
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island. What? Never thought that the captain of the security and surveillance patrol could come from the Fleuve Cendres? You mean rising through the ranks? It was a struggle, for sure, but as long as you can distinguish yourself through your accomplishments and skills, you'll eventually be recognized for your worth. If you look at it another way, my life at Fleuve Cendres has actually taught me a lot of valuable skills. Skills like how to barter with criminals or how to think in their shoes. Of course, I'd appreciate it if you could keep this a secret between us.
again. Our sketch.
Nonsense.
Anyway, let's head out and meet up with the others.
It's Monsieur Nervous.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meripede, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we made a name for ourselves at this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing came of it.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else going on behind the scenes here?
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person and have my questions answered.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at...
Oh, did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Sijuin! Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned here. Really? Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about this?
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the... And watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink? Paimon's not that thirsty, but thanks anyway. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about. Typical Sijun. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from you. I place great trust in Wriothesley, so I rarely visit the fortress of Meripede. However, exceptional circumstances call for exceptional measures. I hope I didn't cause him too much trouble.
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
The Mutual Aid Network? Oh, don't tell Paimon you're another shady organization like the Beret Society.
The Beret Society? Oh, you mean the group that was dissolved a while back. Rest assured, we're completely different.
Okay then, what does your network usually do?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation, but everyone treats each other like family. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to maintain just dealings as much as possible.
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress, but people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed by our first president. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against anyone. He encouraged the weaker criminals to stick together and look out for each other. All of us have a lot of respect for him.
Interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network? If you'd like to learn more, here's our flyer. Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained unchanged. Here, this book is for you. You're welcome to come and sign up anytime.
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
Mm-hmm. The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh, so the network was inspired by...
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this situation.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusines? Over that?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him, after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? If I could get them to strike back... But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melusines to salvage things. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection, so I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara and force her to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melusines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melusines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melusines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing. I trust that they would make different choices from before.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melusines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melusines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melusines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. people no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memornia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that right?
Yep. Neverlet thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice. And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
Please, take care.
Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them, so I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalette.
You are very welcome. Many people were once enthralled by Lady Farina's performances, myself included. I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiumali and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us! We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing! Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, O little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Farina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line, but I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Is she here yet? Will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô Genève? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité est nourrie, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seule la nature fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, poussée à la mort. Je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on!
Oh, so it was Farina after all.
She's back!
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
I thought Cleo's actress sang very well. Why did they swap her out at the end?
I don't know. Maybe that's just how it was scripted.
Did anyone see where Miss Farina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph, but I can't find her anywhere.
I wasn't expecting such an incredible performance from an amateur troupe. They didn't seem out of place on the big stage at all.
Yeah, their technique could use some polish, but the performance in general felt very believable. Hit all the right emotional notes. I think it'll stay with me for a while.
What a surprise! Seeing Miss Farina on the stage? This ticket was money well spent.
Yeah, I agree. Say what you want about her, but she's flawless when she's on stage.
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
Oh, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Farina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I'd previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it. It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
I mean, of course I have some regrets, but...
There'll be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an interview with the Steambird to get to. Thanks to all your help, this show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally say farewell to O'Reilly.
Now that the buzz is worn off, I feel ready to pass out.
Thank you so much. I feel like I've rekindled the passion I had when I first joined the troupe. It might turn out to be too little, too late for me. But still, this has been the experience of a lifetime.
Work, everyone! We're looking to wrap with our two main ladies today. I can already smell our success.
What do you mean, looking to wrap? Oh, aren't you the expert now?
This upcoming scene is the two musketeers' final confrontation with the Baron. There will be quite a bit of action, but no choreography beyond what we've already rehearsed. Anyway, get ready. Lights, camera, action!
The view is beautiful tonight. It reminds me of that fateful night 10 years ago. And now that I've said it, I can even make out the faint fragrance of herbal tea in the air.
Enough, villain! It's time that you pay for the death of our mother!
My dear Iris, have you forgotten your manners? How can you speak like this to your own father?
I'd sooner swallow all of my teeth than call you father.
What did I expect? Seems the daughters have turned out to be just as obstinate as their foolish mother. In this world, Mora and status is everything. She thought she could blackmail me using her children and force me to grant her recognition and concessions? Ah, how naive can a woman be?
Mother never asked a single thing of you. All she wished was for us to live a peaceful life, just like the others.
It was you who personally brewed the poison of prejudice and sent Mother to her death. Compared to that deadly poison, the 2 bullets that will soon pierce through your heart will be like sweet mercy.
And that's exactly why I said you're just as naive as her. Did you really think 2 muskets would be enough to defeat me? So let's see. What is stronger? Mora and power, or the 2 muskets in your hands? Get them!
Tulip! There are too many of them!
It'll be okay. We'll cover each other, Iris. And Mother will be watching over us, too. You've lost.
To think I'd lose to my own 2 kids.
We are no children of yours, and we'll never call that place our home.
Then tell me, what did you do all this for? You lost your mother, and will soon kill your father as well. What will you gain in the end, other than sentences for your crimes?
We will gain our long-awaited justice. It's over.
Finally, it's over. So, where will you go now, Tulip?
I'm not too sure, Iris. Maybe somewhere with lots of flowers? After all, Mother always did love going where the blossoms were. What about you?
I want to go visit Mother's grave.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Huh? Tulip, look!
What is it?
It's Mother's favorite, the rainbow rose. Look, it's blooming again.
Excellent! That was beyond mesmerizing. Even I didn't expect this scene to go so well. And we got it in a single take. All right, everyone. We've got a wrap for Tulip and Iris.
Congratulations, Ayaka and Chevreuse!
Thank you. I didn't expect our parts to wrap so quickly. I wish I could savor the experience for just a bit longer.
Paimon totally understands. Paimon's not ready to say goodbye to the clapperboard either. Filming has really been a lot of fun. You were great too, Chevreuse. The way you said, long-awaited justice. It gave Paimon chills.
That is indeed my favorite line in the whole book. I still remember trying to act it out in my room the first few times I read it.
Whoa, Paimon would have never guessed you're that type.
Who doesn't like stories where the guilty are punished and justice prevails over evil? Don't forget, I'm the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Captain, I have something urgent to report.
Please excuse me, everyone. I'll be back in just a moment.
It's okay, don't worry about us.
Oh? Was she whisked away by work already? I was just about to tell her how great she did.
It seemed like some urgent official business.
Then perhaps we should thank the stars that we were able to wrap both of your parts so quickly today. Switching around the filming schedule would have been a real pain. Anyway, I actually came over to let everyone know that we're all done for today. You can go home and get some rest. And one last thing, Miss Ayaka. Your acting skills today were immaculate as always. Are you sure you won't consider taking up full-time acting? See, I just happen to know this great troupe that's still looking for a lead actress.
Thank you for your kind words, Director Farina. Unfortunately, there are still many matters that I have to take care of back home at the Yashiro Commission. I cannot remain in Fontaine to pursue an acting career. Nevertheless, I will make sure to treasure this incredible opportunity in my heart.
Oh, that's a shame, but I understand. Just let me know if you ever change your mind.
I believe it's also about time for me to take my leave. But hopefully I'll see you on set over the next few days. Even though my part's wrapped, I'd still like to swing by and help out the crew. See you tomorrow, Traveler and Paimon.
Yep, see you tomorrow! Well, what should we do next? Maybe we'll go investigate the case some more with Chevres today.
Traveler, Paimon, please come with me.
Huh? Where are we going?
You could say that our ship has finally chanced upon one of those small, remote islands of intel.
Paimon's exhausted. Paimon definitely didn't expect having to float this far after a full day of filming. So, Chevres, why did you take us here?
Affirmative. It wasn't anything conclusive, but it should show us a clear way forward. Have you ever heard of someone by the name of Emily?
Oh, you mean that famous perfumer?
She's a good friend of mine. She's lent me her aid several times in the past to resolve some difficult cases. After I discovered the rainbow rose at the scene of the murder, I sent it to her. After all, she's probably the foremost expert on flowers and scents in all of Fontaine.
And then?
There was nothing remarkable about the flower or the trace amounts of soil left on it. But according to Emily, the rainbow rose left by the killer was derived from a very rare cultivar.
Huh. Paimon didn't know that there were different varieties of rainbow rose. Paimon just thought they grew everywhere in the wild.
Flowers that are deliberately cultivated will always show some different features from those that bloom in the wild. We already knew that the rose left at the scene belonged to a special cultivar, but with Emily's expertise, we were able to pinpoint the place where it was first picked from.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. So whoever first planted that rainbow rose was probably the killer!
Precisely. And after we checked what we learned against some sales records from the past, we discovered that there's only one person in all of Fontaine who could grow and sell this specific cultivar.
Really? And who is it?
It's the novelist.
But didn't you say he had an alibi?
To be clear, I haven't changed my mind about him. I still don't think he was the one who pulled the trigger. However, that doesn't mean the true culprit never visited him at his home or never purchased a rainbow rose from his garden. Whatever the case, we will have to confirm a number of things with him.
So you mean the next place we need to go is...
Yes, we're going to pay him a visit at his home. That should be his house.
There are so many Gardamex stationed around the place. That's pretty unusual, right?
According to what he told me last time we spoke, he hired them so he won't be harassed or disturbed.
Huh. So there are a lot of flowers in his garden, but Paimon doesn't think we'll be able to pick one without alerting the Gardamex.
Right. Which is exactly why I think there has to be a special connection between him and the killer.
So, should we knock?
Just wait here for now. I'd like to take care of a number of those Gardamex first.
But they're so far away. How are you planning to do that?
Don't forget, Paimon, I'm actually the real-life captain of the Musketeers. All clear. Let's go.
Wait! Paimon's a little nervous now that we know he could be the killer. Can we go over our plan of action again?
I'll go knock on the door and make sure it's safe inside. Once we're sure that we're in the clear, I'll ask him to come with us for a quick round of questioning at the guard's headquarters.
But can't we just arrest him?
We still have no evidence that he's the killer, or that he lent the killer any direct aid. Still, it would be appreciated if you could pick a rainbow rose from his garden for me while I'm talking to him. It'll help the Marachose Phantom confirm Emily's theory.
Sure, no problem. Just be careful, Chevreuse.
Excuse me, Mr. Baptiste, are you home?
Who could it be at this hour?
Oh, it's you, Officer Chevreuse.
Would you mind accompanying me to the guard's headquarters, Mr. Baptiste? We would like to ask you some questions about a case.
Oh, is it still regarding the murder case from before?
I cannot confirm or deny that at this time.
So it is then.
Listen, I need you to come with me, Mr. Baptiste.
Miss Chavras, I'll save you the trouble. Oh, and you two over there? There's no need for you to pick my flowers either. It's not time for them to bloom yet.
Oh! Okay.
By saving me the trouble, you mean...
I will confess. I was the killer.
Huh?
He just admitted he's guilty!
Please relax, everyone. I'm not armed. The musket you're looking for has been buried in my backyard.
Then it's my responsibility to inform you, Mr. Baptiste, that everything you say right now will be used as evidence for the inevitable trial.
Yes, I am perfectly aware of that.
I must say, I hate this feeling.
Oh? Is it because I confessed? Or because you've been proven wrong?
Both, I suppose.
For the same reason as the one I wrote out in my novel, of course. I did it to exact revenge. I know you haven't figured out the link between the two of us. Had you done so, I'd have been taken away to the headquarters a long time ago. But that won't stop me from always remembering his grotesque face. After all, he was the one who killed my mother.
Your mother is still healthy and well.
You know, I was adopted as a child. I was referring to my birth mother.
That was never recorded in the orphanage's records.
Please forgive a 6-year-old child for concocting some lies to protect himself after watching his mother die right in front of him.
So, your novel, it was like a record of your life?
No, of course not. It was a work of fiction with many embellished parts. But I am indeed the illegitimate son of a wealthy and influential man who abused his power to murder my mother. That part was 100% real.
But the man you killed didn't have a Mora to his name.
He was a hired assassin, an irredeemable beast who sank his fangs into a defenseless woman just for a few bags of Mora.
But if that's really the truth, you wouldn't be telling us any of this now. You still haven't managed to take revenge against your father, the true mastermind behind it all.
I never thought I'd hear that kind of thing from the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
I'm simply skeptical about your motives.
It's simple, really. I've grown tired of everything and don't want to shoulder this burden anymore. You may have considered me too soft to pull the trigger. Well, as it turns out, you are exactly right. I've become overwhelmed by the aftermath of the murder.
So you're going to call a stop to your revenge, just like that?
The true mastermind is too rich and too powerful for me. I've accepted that I will never be able to avenge my mother alone.
And so what? The characters in your book never gave up?
Now, Officer Chavras, I'm the one who has killed a man, aren't I? Are you trying to convince me to commit another crime?
What's your father's name? How do you plan to prove the veracity of all of your claims?
Well, I'd like to speak with you privately.
Sure. Why don't we speak privately at the guard's headquarters?
No, it has to be here. I must ensure that we won't be overheard.
Fine. Let's talk here.
When I said won't be overheard, I meant by anyone. I would like to speak with you and you alone.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Please stay safe, Chavras.
All right. Let's hear it.
Will you really believe what I'm about to say?
Well, that depends on what you're going to tell me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Then listen closely.
So that's how it's all connected.
So, it seems you believe me after all.
Do you want me to go public with this?
No, of course not. At least, not right now.
Then why did you bother telling me?
You've read my work. What do you think? Even if you were to go public with all of this right now, he'd simply deny everything. It's been too long. Almost 20 years. Anything that could be used as evidence has long faded away. Even if there might have been a solitary island of truth once upon a time, it has long sunk beneath the waves by now. Justice will never find him.
Not if you don't try.
I know that as the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, you will always stand on the side of justice. But do you really think a cushy life in prison really constitutes justice for him? I bet he could lead an extremely comfortable life in the fortress of Meripede.
What are you trying to say?
I've been observing you from a distance. Your portrayal of the Musketeer was exquisite. Pull the trigger of justice against him. Let the villain get what he deserves.
You want me to let you go so you may complete your revenge?
No, Officer Chavras. I know that would be impossible. No. What I'd like is for you to perform the deed on my behalf.
Oh, Shiva sure is taking her time. What could they be talking about anyway? Oh, Paimon's worried. What if he decided to attack her? Oh, you do have a point. Still, do you have any idea who the rich person might be? And why the novelist doesn't want us to hear what he's saying to Chevres?
Sorry to keep you waiting, you two.
Hey, how did your talk go?
I've already sent someone to escort Baptiste back to the headquarters for questioning. He wasn't lying about the musket. It was indeed buried in his backyard.
But what about the name? Did he tell you the name of the rich guy?
Yes, he did. But for now, I have to return to the Special Patrol. There are still a few loose ends I need to tie up. I'll probably be quite busy over the next few days, so apologies if you don't see me on set.
All right, Paimon understands if you can't tell us everything you know. We'll just keep an eye on the Steambird then.
Actually, there's still something else I need your help with.